Okay, let's go.
Hey, it went live. That caught me off guard a little bit. Hi, you guys. Good to see you. Happy Tuesday. And thank you for all of your encouragement and prayers last week because I feel so much better. So much better. So thank you very much. I appreciate feeling better when you go through a few days where you don't feel good at all. So anyway, great to see you guys. Happy you are here. Happy to be together again. Casey, let's see. Casey Morlett from SoCal. Awesome. Thank you. Happy to be back. Robin, you're so cute. Hi, Ian. I saw a post that you were cast in a project, so congratulations on that. Hey, Emily, good to see you. Let's see, Emily Kalk Sharp, because then we also have Emily Buckner from Michigan. Good to see you guys. Let's see. I'm gonna move over a little bit. All right. Monty. Hi, Monty. Good to see you. Robert K. Jen Cook. Love the pink and orange. Thank you. I actually was thinking I need something bright. We're getting into summer and warm temperatures. So yeah, hopefully the colors show. Last week, if I had tried to do this, I would have been like gray and beige. So yes, I'm definitely feeling better. Hi, Stephanie, Colin. Thank you so much. I am feeling better. Hi, Michelle, Carolyn, Gainesville, Virginia, Danielle Malone from Florida, Bianca. Hi, Bianca. It's been fun seeing a bunch of your videos online. I love that you're doing that. It's wonderful. Jana. Hi, Jana. Jana, and then Jenny. So love that from Knoxville, Tennessee. Evan, Leona, Dawn, good old Dawn Overstreet, good to see you. And Charles Babler, good to see you. Valerie, all you guys. It's great. So I'm so happy to be back and to be just plugging along and getting ready to move into a couple of new projects, which I'm excited about. I can let you know the first one will be looking for one specific role, and it is going to be a role playing mid to late high school age. So that one is going to be a little bit more narrow in focus, but I will be looking for someone who is definitely a strong singer and actress, again, to play high school age, mid to late teens, for something that's going to shoot in Nashville. So that's exciting. And that breakdown will probably come out I'd say within about a week. And then for that same project, we will have other roles for that same project, but I just don't have the scripts to know what those other roles are yet. And we should be gearing up on season 2 of Blue Ridge soon, but I don't yet have the official go ahead, but that will be coming. So I'll keep you guys posted on that as well. And then we'll just see what else comes up. But it's fun to get some things that we've been waiting for, getting them moving and moving forward. I hope that you guys I don't know if you're feeling a little bit more of a pickup in some things, but there does seem to be a little bit of energy brewing. So that's great. Hi, Austin. How are you, Austin? It's good to see you. Hi, Suzanne. Blue Ridge. Yes, I know. I really loved Blue Ridge. It's Emily need perimenopausal mom with an attitude role. I love that. Oh, hi, Adam. So Suzanne, I'm with you. I enjoyed watching Blue Ridge as well as working on it, but I love the series and the cast that are a part of it so far. So I'm looking forward to some more episodes. Should be fun. Michael. Okay, Michael, I'm going to answer your question. Here's an Actors Access question for you. I heard that if you are casting a SAG project, you only have the capability to see submissions from SAG actors. Is that true? That is not my experience, but we had this conversation a couple weeks ago when I was on last, in that, if I release to Actors Access, oftentimes Actors Access has a higher percentage of non-union or SAG eligible actors, um, or I guess SAG FICOR, although most people don't list FICOR on their resumes. So, and I wouldn't really suggest it, but so no, I see all kinds of actors. Now, what happens with um, when a breakdown goes out to agents and managers, the majority of those agents and managers are SAG franchised, meaning they only rep SAG actors. And so, by virtue of their client list being all SAG actors, the majority of the submissions end up being SAG actors. So, SAG franchised agencies typically will only submit SAG actors, but I do get a variety. I get SAG eligible, which, would make sense because they're eligible to audition for a SAG project. But I have gotten non-union as well. Um, but probably through the Actors Access part of it. So I don't know that that's entirely accurate, at least in my experience, but I'll ask around and see if for some reason it's different for somebody else. Aaron, I don't have a role for a 16-year-old boy at the moment, but if something changes, I'll make sure you guys know if a breakdown goes out. The age is good for that project. That project takes place in a not in a high school, but in a high school oriented age group. And so it'd be better if he was able to work as an adult. That's the thing for all of you who have kids and who are in the business. It's always going to be when you have a child who's 16, they're going to be in competition with actors who are 18 to play younger, unless your child is able to work as an adult. If they're able to work as an adult, then it won't matter. But if your child is 16, is in school, and has schooling requirements that have to be fulfilled, it's going to be tough. It'll be a little bit more difficult because they're in competition with actors who are 18 to play younger. Therefore, there's no studio teacher requirement, no schooling requirement. And so that typically is going to be what people are looking for, especially with something that's 16, because it actually is pretty easy to find 18-year-olds who can play 16. Now, when we're looking for someone who's like 12 or 13, obviously that's much more difficult to find someone who works as an adult who can authentically play something 12 or 13. But when you get into roles that are 15, 16, it will be very common for you to see a requirement that the actor be able to work as an adult. And so that's one thing to keep in mind for what shows up on your end, and keep in mind for your son, in this case, your son, as to what his situation is and whether that's an option that is available for him, depending on what you're schooling in. Sometimes the homeschool environment or independent study environment allows for the schooling option to be less complex. But anytime a production has to hire a studio teacher and set aside 3 hours of schooling every day, they're going to opt for an actor who they don't have to do those things for, because it's a direct cost savings and time savings, both of which, time savings becomes a cost savings. So, yeah, 16 is a difficult age, if they're not able to work as an adult. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Jewel, Actors Access makes you check a box, SAG or FICOR. Now I'm wondering if that shows up on your end. No, I think that's for a search criteria, because I can go in and search certain criteria that I might want to focus in on. One of which is I could search for FICOR. So I think that's why they give you that option to check. But it doesn't, like on your resume or on your submission, it doesn't say FICOR unless you've built it into your own resume. Otherwise, it doesn't say that. Yeah. So, and it's not common to search for FICOR as a criteria unless you're doing a non-union project and you're looking for people who could work under those, under those parameters. So, except for Dawn Overstreet, except for the movie Grease, right, where they were all practically 30 years old in the movie Grease. So, Valerie, we homeschool our 6 kids. Is that something that is appealing to CDs, or does it not matter at all? It doesn't matter. Well, there's a couple of things. You need to know the rules in your state as far as the studio teacher requirement and the schooling requirement. Now, one of the things that a homeschool situation could allow you to do is to say, okay, we're homeschooling and we've decided that these 2 weeks of the shoot are 2 weeks off of school, and then you'll make up that time, either, tag it on to the end of your school year or at another time that might have been a break. Otherwise, you're going to do schooling because you want to make those 2 weeks no schooling, because that is better for production, because they don't have to set aside 3 hours a day for your child to do schoolwork. So that can be an advantage if you have that kind of control over when your child's in school and when they are off school. So that can be good. The age requirements for like a studio teacher or a social worker is a state or federal ruling, but each state is different as to what they require and whether the parent could step in as the teacher slash studio teacher. So you just need to know the rules in your state. I would look that up and go to the employment, government employment website for your state and learn what that is. Google it and find out for yourself, because every state is a little different. So I can't really answer that because I don't know your specific, other than what I just said, which is when you can control when your child is in school and out of school, then that can really help. Let's see. Carolyn, thank you for providing a discount code for the Focus, the Actors Conference. Looking forward to meeting you and learning from you in person. I'm excited. And yes, we do have that an access code, and I'm realizing I don't have it in front of me today. I don't know. There you go. See, Diego, you are a hero. He's just my hero. Focus Actors Conference. Focus 24 is the code. So yes, if you're still contemplating whether you want to go to that, I was looking at the schedule today. There's a lot of really great people that are going to be there. I see there's a couple of different improv classes. Remember a couple weeks ago, we talked about the importance of improv skills, not just for comedy, but for auditioning, for as an actor, just skill sets, core character development. And so they have a couple of different improv sessions. Jean Winger and Natalie Dendy. Natalie Dendy is she's the one heading and creating this whole event, but she and Jean Winger from Treasure Coast Talent will be doing a talent rep in the actor session. Actors POV with Jason Marsden, who's awesome, Laura Osnes, Jesse Hutch, fantastic. You've probably seen them in a lot of pieces, especially if you watch Hallmark, but they're wonderful, talented actors. Joel Smallbone, of course, from Unsung Hero and For King and Country will be a part of that panel. And then I'm doing one Truths from the Casting Director. So I'll try not to tell a lie because it's called Truths from the Casting Director. So I'll try to be truthful. But yeah, we're just going to talk about the ins and outs of the casting process, maybe like some of the things that people do get confused on or hung up on, and kind of just talk about the real core of what's most important in the casting and audition process. That night, then Christopher Palaha is speaking. He's fantastic. If any of you saw a movie I did called The Shift, he was our lead, or he did a film a couple years ago called Run the Race. Christopher has also done several Hallmark movies that are fantastic. He's great. And then we have a casting director's POV session, and that's myself, Deb George, who is a local casting director, Mark Fincannon, who is amazing and awesome. And I always get inspired by him. And then Regina Moore, who's a local Nashville casting director. Again, I've worked with her several times. She's fantastic, someone to really know and to make sure. She also teaches classes and has workshops and things. She's wonderful. And then a couple of other sessions, Jonathan Sheck, who is the lead of Blue Ridge. He was also in, that Thing You Do, the movie, That Thing You Do, when he said, I quit. Anyway, Jonathan is doing a session. He's fantastic. You will glean so much from him. And then they have a producer director panel with Ken Carpenter, Ricky Borba, Ryan Whitaker, and then Rich Peluso, who is the head of Affirm Films. He's going to be doing a session as well. So there's a lot going on, a lot happening. And so, yeah, you can use that code, and it's July 12th and 13th in Nashville. So, and Aaron, it is not adults only. I believe it is 5+ if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Actors of all ages and levels. So I think it would just matter if your child, is old enough to be able to focus and to glean from that information, and wouldn't wouldn't find their minds wandering or struggle to stay focused or engaged by the speakers. Because there's not a lot of downtime in between for them to sort of get wiggles out and do all of that. And Valerie, I don't know. Go to the website. That'll give you all the information. I don't know all the details about pricing and all of that. So, Amanda, age and five and up with parents. So there you go. Yeah, Diego, can you pop up the link and the code again one more time? There you go. So you can go to that website. It'll give you the pricing and the information. And then that's the discount code Focus24. So, Robin recently came across a coach who specializes in on-camera acting, and this quote is from him. They don't cast actors, they cast characters. Thoughts in regards to this idea for self-tapes? I mean, obviously we cast actors because, it's the actors who are doing the roles. But I think what this coach was meaning is that we aren't casting a specific actor for who they are. We're casting what you bring to a certain role. So we're casting your version of a certain character that we need. So in that respect, I agree. We're casting the characters we need. We're casting the roles we need, and we're casting the version of those roles and the version of those characters that is closest to the director's vision. And so, yes, the director isn't auditioning actors because he knows who those actors are. I mean, obviously the exceptions are when we are going after name or well-known name actors or well-known actors, but even then we're casting them for what we know they could bring to a certain role or a certain character. So I would agree with that insofar as the interpretation of that being we cast the version of the character that the actor brings to the process, brings to the audition process. So yes, I would agree with that. And that's why we do auditions, because if it was just, about picking a bunch of actors that we like and we know, then, we would just do that and be quick and kind of boring. But we are looking for what each of those actors can specifically bring to the character and what their version of the character looks like, and what their unique take on the character is. And as we look at those, that's how the final choice comes into shape as the director is reviewing those and kind of ruminating on what they're seeing. And then they finally arrive at the actor who they feel is the closest to what they envision for the role. So yes, I agree to that extent. So let's see. Um Yes, Richard, it's gonna be great to see. I'm looking forward to seeing Mark Fincannon too. Oh, that's good that you haven't seen him in a while and you'll get to see him. That's great. William, I try to be truthful. I do. I try to be truthful as best I can. I try to be truthful. Um, okay. I'm seeing some questions about the link. I think you guys all got the information for the link now, and you have that. There you go, perfect. Um, Valerie, also, will you list the high school job on Actors Access for self-submissions? Will it be a high school or adult to play younger? It will be adult to play younger. Um, it will be someone who can work as an adult. Now, there are 16-year-olds who can work as adults because they're either done with school, they've graduated, or they're emancipated, or really, if they've graduated high school and finished their schooling, then that makes a huge difference. And they don't have the schooling requirement. And in many states, 16 a 16-year-old who has graduated and completed their high school education then can work as an adult. So um yeah, so like I said, just go to your particular state. Now we're filming in Nashville, so your particular state doesn't really matter. I should clarify that. What matters is where it's filming. So you'll want to look up the requirements for the state of Tennessee, because that's where this particular project is filming, is in the Nashville area. So okay. I Franklin is awesome. It's awesome. Anytime I have a reason to go there, I love going there, and great friends that have now moved there, a lot of them that have moved there. Let's see. William, besides Actors Access and faith-based casting, are there any other casting platforms actors should be in? Those are the two strongest. But there's others that people use. Casting Networks is probably, I would say, the next likely. Casting Networks is the next most strongly used platform. There's Casting Workbook, I think, is international. So Casting Networks, I would say, is probably the next platform. But again, it's a matter of how many of those. I don't know that you need to be a part of all of those, and I do think Actors Access is the strongest, but, you might do a trial with a Casting Networks and see what comes up for you, and see if you're seeing duplicates from what you see on Actors Access. or if you're finding some unique and different opportunities through casting networks that you aren't seeing on the other platforms. Just, try it out for yourself for a little while and just see how that goes. So, um, Emily, Christian Casting with Laura May. So Christian Casting is a network site. It isn't a traditional casting site. Yet Room 4 is what they're developing to, I think, eventually be that. But yes, I highly recommend the Christian Casting Facebook page and network and community. They announce projects all the time, and she posts projects as far as things that are going on. And you'll find a lot of information, not only from Laura May, but others in the community. So that's not necessarily a submission platform, but it is a very, very good informational platform, and kind of a place where community will give you a lot of information. So that's the Facebook page, Christian Casting Facebook page. And then you'll find information about the Room 4 app, which is what they're developing. And I think their goal is for it to be an actual full submission platform, but it isn't yet. So Ivy, will there be any more casting calls for Adventures with Iggy and Mr. Kirk? So I don't know that. I don't think so. I think because they're just doing a first season, and just starting out with that. At this point, I don't think they're planning or budgeted to have a lot of guest star characters. So as of now, they have all their series regulars and their kind of recurring guest stars for that series. So I don't anticipate there being a lot more activity on that series for this first season. And I think future seasons will kind of depend on how much traction they get with this first season. So right now, I don't anticipate a lot, but I'll let you know if there is. And that would be a project I would list on Faith-Based Casting. If I were doing a listing for that particular show, the Adventures with Iggy and Mr. Kirk show. So, will there be another Creative Exchange Anthem Collective workshop? Yes, there will. And Diego has been actively vetting what city we're going to go to next, and then within that city determining facilities. And because we of course need to make sure that it gets set up right and we have the right facilities to be able to accomplish what we want to accomplish. So yes, we will be doing that. And as soon as we have more information, it's turning out to be kind of a busy summer with a lot of things going on. And so I think it'll likely be closer to fall, maybe late summer, early fall, but we will keep you posted because, man, I loved the Creative Exchange. One of the best sort of community building, teaching, learning environments. I hope you all felt the same, those of you who are able to be a part of it. And I can't wait to do it again. So yeah, we absolutely are going to do it. We just have to get it all set up right. Hi, Brooklyn Whitmer. How are you? It's good to see you. Hi, Sarah Lejeune, Amanda. I'm seeing a few of you that I missed first time around. Ian, West Virginia or Pittsburgh, bring the exchange up north. I love it. And Brooklyn, I hope you get to attend the next exchange. It really was awesome. Honestly, just lots of good connection time and community. And it was really great. So, Suzanne, Charlotte Creative Exchange was fantastic. Yay. Thanks for the enthusiastic endorsement, Suzanne. I loved it too. So I had a great time. Katie as well. So you guys are awesome. Thank you. And I'm glad you loved it because we had a great time. So, okay. So on my Jen, met great people, learned a ton. Awesome. Can't say enough good things. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, um, okay, so on my website, bhcasting.com, there is a contact me page that people can send an email to me and or an email to that site, and then of course I get it. It's a separate email from my sort of day in and day out. Um but, I wanted to and I'm gonna keep looking. If you guys have any other questions, please, please, please ask them. But I get all kinds of, questions on there, and it's interesting because some of them I realize well, for example, and let me read you one. I'm not going to read the names of who sent it, but it says, "Hello, Beverly. I'm interested in finding out about how to become involved as an actor in the Angel Studios films. Do you cast the principals or the background for their films? If not, are you able to tell me who does? I'm a member of SAG-AFTRA and I would really like to work in one of their films. Thanks." Then the actor's name. So, a couple of things about that. First of all, I this there are a lot of things in this question that this person could find out on their own. And so I want to talk a little bit about that, um, because I want to make sure that you guys are being as proactive about getting the useful information that you need, about knowing where to find information that's helpful to you, and that you're not like this is a very difficult sort of general thing for me to get and then try to answer. It's too complex. There's too many. It's not a simple little yes or no kind of a thing. So I wanted to address it on here. So the first part of it, I want to find out about becoming involved as an actor in the Angel Studios film. So, obviously I've done The Chosen was originally with Angel Studios. The Shift was with Angel. So there is a sense that I am with um that I'm somehow directly connected to Angel. But what they're not necessarily realizing, and that actors don't always realize, especially newer actors, is that I'm actually not working for Angel Studios. I'm working for the producers of those films that are producing for Angel Studios. So I don't have a direct tie to Angel Studios. So the first thing that I would recommend to this person, and again, just to you guys, is to educate yourself more about Angel Studios and how they work and how their films are made. I talk a lot about being on having IMDb Pro. I feel strongly that you guys should be paying for the Pro version. The Pro version gives you way more information and resources than just the free IMDb version. IMDb Pro, you can go to Angel Studios, look at their filmography. It'll show you all of the films that they've distributed, or not just films, but all of the work and content that they have made or created. Then you click on that film or that TV show, and it will show you who all the filmmakers are for that specific show. And then from there, of course, you'll be able to see who was the casting director for that movie or that TV show, who is the producer. And what you'll do, what will happen is that you will find that these films being made for Angel Studios are being made by all different producers. And each of those producers has, in many cases, their own team, creative teams of casting directors and DPs and art directors. All of that is within each producer circle, not kind of a big Angel Studios umbrella. So in this particular case, IMDb Pro would be a huge tool for this particular person to not only find out about Angel Studios, go to their website, get a better understanding of who they are, how their films are made. Then you could go to me. The next question was, do you cast the principals or the background for their films? All you'd have to do is go to my filmography on IMDb Pro, and you would see I don't do background. You won't see any background casting credits on my filmography. I only do principal casting. So that would answer that question for this person. And then, and if not, are you able to tell me who does? Well, IMDb Pro would tell you who does those things on each of those. I'm a SAG-AFTRA member. It goes on to say I'm a SAG-AFTRA member. I would really like to work in one of their films. So this is a case where all the resources to answer these questions, at least in this particular email, are at their fingertips. They just don't know it. And so I want to encourage you guys to really be hunting out those resources, and IMDb Pro is one of the strongest, because you will find out information, and you can do basically you can follow a trail, like who distributed the movie, Affirm Studios or Rich Peluso. Okay, what are his movies? Okay, who produced that movie, and who was the casting director on that movie? Who are the actors who were in that? Who, each of those movies, who were the teams behind that? You'll begin to see some trends of some of the same people, who work in films. Like you'll see my name come up in several films and TV projects of faith, because that's kind of the world that I specialize in, and that I really spend most of my career working in. So but the same thing will happen with costume designers and DPs and art directors and producers. You'll start to see some of the same names emerge. So there's really a lot more information at your fingertips than you may realize. And Sarah, you're absolutely right. So Sarah Lejeune says actors should be utilizing the same IMDb features for their auditions to feel out the tone of the writers, showrunners, and producers' work by looking at their previous projects. Absolutely. And Sarah, tell us, write the name of your book again. Actually, hold on. I had it right here, but I don't right now. Oh, sorry. The Beginning Actor's Guide. I happen to have it right here, Sarah. Sarah Lejeune, this is her book. I would recommend it. Here, there we go. 12-step audition prep workbook, you guys. Sarah, where can they get this? There you go. Yeah. If you'll put in your comments, Sarah, where they can get this, that would be great. Lot of great resources here. Sarah has been in the business a long time. She's a hard worker. She is a go-getter, and she's allowing you all to benefit from the many, many things she has learned and the experiences she has had over. And the other thing, Sarah, I love about you is that you're also one of those, when we say, okay, create your own content, make it happen for yourself. That's another thing that Sarah's doing as well. So that's great. So yeah, I would recommend any of you, the Beginner's Actor's Guide and 12-step audition prep workbook. And Sarah says you can search for the book on Amazon or buy it on sarahlejeune.com. So you guys keep that note and pass along to any of your other friends who are asking some of these same kinds of beginner introductory kinds of questions, because that could be very, very helpful to them. So Tina, does the book share about learning the business of a film set and the hierarchy of crew and the production team? Or is it focused mainly on actors? I believe her book is focused mainly on actors and their process. But Tina, there are many, many resources that will give you what you are asking for, that talk about the crew hierarchy. And I remember when I first started, I told you that I had interned with my filmmaker friend, and And so I didn't know anything. I had come from a theater background. I didn't know anything about the film industry. And so I literally went and bought a book that told me, okay, there's an executive producer, and then the producers do this, and the producers are over these people, and then the line producer and the AD department. Like, it literally spelled out who was who and who was over who and who hired who. And it was incredibly helpful for me and very necessary. But there are a lot of books out there, because that's not necessarily like, that's pretty standard information. So there are a lot of great books out there that can give you that. Kathleen Kennedy Palmer, that's my sister, and she is in Waco, Texas, taking a bucket list trip to Magnolia and the land of Chip and Joanna Gaines. And I saw some of your pictures, Kathy. They looked awesome. So I hope you're having fun. So yeah, that's my sister. I love her. My sister is responsible for leading me to the Lord and taking me to church. Her obnoxious little junior high sister, when she was going to choir, she was going to the high school choir at the church she went to, and drug me along, and that led to me accepting the Lord at camp and becoming a Christian, and all those years later. So my sister Kathleen Kennedy Palmer is responsible for all that is. So thank you. I will forever be grateful, Kathy. Okay. Austin. Hi, Jean. I'd love to talk. Okay, you're talking to Jean. Okay. Let's see. Sisters. Yep, exactly. Robert K. just looked up the book. That's so funny. My kid just watched Amazing Grace this weekend and wanted me to watch it with them. There you go. That's a nice connection. That's awesome. So, yeah, I've been going through, it's been a little while since I've gone through those BH casting emails. And so I was going through them and catching up, and just seeing how many questions were just so broad and so not anything that I could answer in a quick little email reply. So, which is part of the reason that I am doing the coaching, and wanted to let you know that is up and going. We'll do a link for that, and let you know. We'll post it, the anthemcollective.com coaching, let you know. And it is live with certain dates and time frames that I've selected and said that I can be available. So all you have to do is just sign up for that time frame, and then I'll get notified that you've signed up, and away we go. And so my goal in doing that is, it can be anywhere from answering that litany of questions that you never seem to get answered, or if you want a more personalized response to how you can get started, or what steps you should be taking based on where you live, on your age, on your experience. Because in that setting, I can be much more specific with you, and I can strategize with you personally, as opposed to sort of giving general answers. We can talk more about, okay, this is where I am, this is where I want to go. What are those steps? So that's more of like a career strategy kind of a coaching, but also coaching if you have a performance or a monologue you're trying to work up that you want to kind of have in your back pocket whenever you need it, or working towards a specific audition or project. I can absolutely coach you through that, and work with you on that specific piece. So what I am not, just to let you know, I'm not an acting teacher, meaning I'm not going to teach you about like method acting or Uta Hagen or any of that. My coaching will be specific to kind of taking you from point A to point B, whether that be logistically, career wise, steps, knowledge wise, or helping you specifically with a a performance piece, a monologue, or a scene, I'm happy to work with you on a scene, and develop that with you. Maybe go through the process and help you identify those things that are most effective in an audition setting, and to really hone your audition skills and that process for you. Um, and it can be going through your reel and your resume. It can be reviewing your reel, giving you feedback on your reel and thoughts on whether something might need to be rearranged or what's working, what's not working. It can also be headshots, reviewing headshots, giving you feedback on that, and resume. So any of those, all of those are sort of the intention behind my providing the coaching. Okay. So if you're looking for a specific like acting teacher method, sort of, or a week to week acting teacher, that's not my specialty. But working specific on a specific piece or a character that you're working on, helping you develop that, helping you understand how what you're doing is coming across and whether it's coming across effectively, or how we might enhance that, or helping you understand how you as an actor are being perceived, what your best types might be, what seems to be the most natural fits for you as far as types and characters and roles, and helping you understand that and see that through the eyes of a casting director, and how we kind of perceive that, which can be different than you yourself, or even people that so all of that is the design behind the coaching. So we will be continuing to tweak those times. And if you are looking for an opportunity for coaching, you're not seeing a time that works for you, because I did some during the day, some at night. We have obviously different time zones and different schedules, but if you're wanting coaching, you're not seeing a time that works for you, then send a message to Diego and let him know maybe a couple of windows that could work for you. And maybe there's something we can do. But for now, those times are the times that I'm setting aside to make myself available. So, okay. So I think that for now, we will stop for tonight. It goes by so fast, you guys. I really, so many times I just wish that we were all in one big room, but that's the excitement of having these conferences and, being able to see each other at different events and conferences. So, and I want to soon do another monologue showcase on, another one of our monologue nights. So, we'll let you know about that timing too as well. So, all right. I love you guys so much. And hopefully something on here was helpful to you. Look up Sarah Lejeune's book if it would be helpful to you or someone you know. You may be at a point in your career where you kind of are looking for the next steps beyond that. But if you know anyone who is at that kind of beginning stages and just exploring that and looking to take their game to the next level, then look up her book for sure. She's a great resource. So yeah, so I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next week. And have a great week. I feel like I'm forgetting to say something, but you can look up the Actors Conference. You have Focus 24 is the discount code for the Actors Conference. And we'll keep you posted about the next Creative Exchange. And then my coaching is live. And yeah, love you guys. So have a great week. Use your IMDb Pro and your Google and set a goal to watch some behind the scenes interviews with an actor or a filmmaker, something that will give you a different point of view, a different perspective. The BTS interviews are always great. They make you think. I love them. So just find a BTS on a film you love or a TV show you love. Just explore that and learn some new things from some people who are pros and are doing great work that you admire. So, all right. Love you guys. I'll see you next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye.